So I got my dash out, and there's this little gap right here that doesn't have anything, and I want to put my amp in there. This is the one I've originally had for years, and it's worked good. It's a 4-channel, 300 watt. It's just for door speakers, so just a little bit helps like tremendously. So I like still want to use it, and it was back here. So actually no, it was under my seat, and the wires went back, and it was just a mess. So I'm gonna put my wires and everything behind the dash so you can't see it, and I don't have to like deal with it. All right, so out of a good old Amazon Prime box that I got this little mount made up. It's pretty close to that, but it misses, and that doesn't move, and this isn't gonna move. I'm gonna mount this pretty much in the same location as it was. I'm gonna put just some through holes and yeah, some screws in it, mount this up. I need to add about 2 centimeters to that side so I can get this hole, because I just missed it. So a little bit longer on this side, but other than that, I'll show it to you with that taken out. I got this cut away for all these wires. That's kind of cut away a little bit, so that one can go. Actually, that could probably get be more cut out. But yeah, so the screws, couple down here. Utilize all these holes, and I'm gonna clean this up really good and put some of that double-sided like tape, and get these all bolted in, and then push that down, and we should be good. It shouldn't rattle around or anything. All right, it's Saturday. It's like 4 days later. Just kind of woke up, but I got some work to do. I got brake booster. This is the Beamer. As you can see, it's a lot bigger. And this thread and this thread is different. This is a 10 by 1.5, which is what my tap is. And this one I think is an 8. I could be wrong, but regardless, that needs to go on that, because this is an 8 mil and that's a 10, which means it's not gonna fit on my brake pedal. The pin's gonna be like, yeah. So basically you gotta take this off, tap it out so it can fit that, and then that's it. And these are like the exact same, which is weird. You can kind of see, and then if you flip this around, there's that with the vacuum. Dude, it's so weird that they're the exact same thing and they're off of a different, I don't know if you can see this, BMW, Volkswagen, Audi. So yep, it's off of like an 80s model BMW E30. So I got that. I got this plate I made for my amp, my heater core. I think it's a lost cause because I ordered it and I'm in Cincinnati. They shipped it to Columbus and it said delivered. I hit up the guy that sold it to me and he was like, oh yeah, like I know about it. And I redirected it to your address. It'll be there in 2 days. Well, it's been like 5 and it's still not here, so I might be getting a Go Westy one, which is like 200 bucks. So that sucks, but I need to do this first and tap that thing out. Okay, I have to measure the distance between this and the base, because it's just I gotta make them the same. So this is exactly 114.65, so basically 115, because I'm sure that this has a little bit of slop in it. So 115, that's an 8mm bolt. So if you subtract 4 from 115, that's 111, because that's like the center of the like diameter. So that's 111. It'd be nice if I could write this down. So when I make this one, it needs to be exactly 111 from here to the center of that. I'll show you this pin's the different size. That fits pretty good. So this one's wrong, basically. That needs to be 111 with that one on there. So when I mount it up, it's the correct distance, and my pedal, it won't be pressing on the brakes, or it won't be too sloppy and my brakes won't catch until they're like way down. 111. Alright, so as you can see, this thread is actually a 9mm on the Volkswagen. This is a 10 by 1.5, which is the exact size machine tap that I got. Got the drill for it. I'm gonna have to drill it out a little bit, but this needs to go on there, and I'll have that 8mm hole for the pedal. Gotta tap it. Alright, so here's my setup. Got this V-block. This clamped to the V-block to keep it straight and square. This clamping it to the table, and should be able to drill it out straight. And then I'll put the tap. I'll get it. Since I conveniently don't have a mill here, you got to kind of come up with what you got and make it happen. That drilled out very easily, and the threads are still in there, but whatever. It's just because of the diameter. Wasn't that? It's a 1mm, but now I just have to tap this out because I drilled that and it's good. So that setup worked fine. It didn't take much force to drill it. Like, the setup held fine because it only took out like a millimeter, probably not even. So now I gotta tap it. I got this all tapped out, and it was very easy. It tapped super. I got a good tap, but that stuff is super soft. It's not like anything hard, so you could do it with any hand tap. Now I'm gonna put it on this brake booster and see what we got. Then I gotta put it on the van, which is a complete disaster, but we can make it happen. Alrighty, so this clearly screws right on. Now I just need to get my depth from here to here, which is 111 mil, and then I'll be good. Well, technically to the top of this it'll be 115 because I'm using an 8mm bolt, so I gotta add on 4. So yeah, and I need to compensate for this moving, but it should be close enough. I mean, I can kind of judge myself where exactly the dimensions are. So this isn't too bad. This is like very easy, basic stuff. The tap, when I was tapping it, went very straight. I think it was kind of, even though the thread's a lot more fine, that's like a 1mm thread pitch, like a 9x1, maybe a 9x1.25. But I think my 10x1.5 thread was somewhat following them threads. Someone's calling me. So yeah, it was like very easy to keep straight. Alright, so what we're dealing with here is the thread is starting to come up too far, and I need 115 to the top of the screw, and basically that's there on the bottom, and I got 123. So this needs to come down another 8mm. So basically, well, I have the room there. That's easily 8mm. But that is going to be way up here, and I don't want it up there because I don't want the pivot point to get like bound up. So basically I need to cut off some thread, which isn't that big of a deal, but I'm gonna make sure, like super make sure, that this is like taped off good, because you can't be having metal shavings. Yeah. So I got this cut off. The way that I blocked this chips from going in there, I got a washer, I got a big nut, got another washer, and just kind of tighten it up so then like nothing has a chance of going in there. I cut off maybe 10 mil, so there's plenty of thread left and it won't like bottom out anymore, Just did it with a good old hand grinder. So yeah, I'm gonna see how this little clevis piece fits now. All right, so you can see I'm out of threads, but I'm still about 3 millimeters too short. So this isn't good. I can either take some off of this, I don't know if you can see that, FSW, maybe take it like up to that middle of the letters, or I can run a die. See, okay, the thread pitch is 1.5, so if I need 3 more millimeters, I need 2 turns. So I'm kind of thinking about getting a die, having a wrench on this side, because there's little flats. I don't know if you can see, but there's little flats, and just taking a die and turning it another 2 turns, and it'll thread on more. But I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure this out real quick. So I ran a die over this and did another 2 turns, and it's good. So I measured this and I got it pretty much right on. If anything, it's a little bit shorter, which means the brake pedal will just have a little bit more free play, which will be a good thing. So yeah, if you got this, you need to tap this clevis out, and you need to maybe run a die over this shaft. And I threw it all away. That black tape right there, I took this off and taped up that, and I set it on its side so the chips would fall like this way and not straight down. Preferably you could do it upside down, and that would make the chips fall completely away. But anyway, so I got my measurement like 100% right. Now I can start putting it on. I guess I'm going to maybe clean that up a little bit and get inside this van, see what it looks like. All right, so got this thing on, all the bolts line up, got the little pin and the brake, the clutch one, which is down there, you probably can't see it, but I greased all that up and got that all like lubed up. This thing it fits, it's good. And I got the, you gotta make sure you get the vacuum port in the right spot, so this will actually like line up, that little guy. So I'm gonna mount this thing back up, and when you put this on and when you bolt that up, you can kind of tell if this is in the right spot, because I had to press the brake pedal just a little bit because this is a little bit like shy, a little bit short, which means there's gonna be a little bit of free play, because you don't want that too far extended. You don't want this too far out, because then it'll be pushing in. You just don't want that. So yeah, I'm gonna put this back together, I guess. Alrighty, so I got this thing all together. Got the clutch pedal hooked back up. Got the brake. Everything's good. And there's a little bit, I've noticed, a little bit of free play, which is good before it actually starts braking. So I don't know if that's like something you should look for, but that's how mine is. So we're gonna try it like that. Everything clears. There's a couple millimeter left on the top of this, so that's all good. It's a little tight on the wires, but I think with all this, yeah, with all that back up, it'll be fine. These have to snake around a little bit lower. This is gonna be a little bit tighter against that. Someone mentioned the speedometer cable might be a little tight, but it's not that much bigger, so the wires and whatnot can stretch. Man, that's almost like a relief, because this van is a mess, and getting this back together is a huge plus. Now I need to get that piece of aluminum and make that little bracket that the amp can sit on. and I really want to get done with that. Yeah,